right, guys, so what you just witnessed was Trump getting a standing ovation and USA chants breaking out as he attended the Iowa State college football game, where, again, he was met with very, very, very positive reactions. And, guys, I got to tell you, man, at this point, just comparing Joe Biden to Trump in regards to how people greet Trump versus Biden, I mean, it's really a no-brainer, okay? I can't think of the last time I've ever seen Biden get that type of reception, okay? Every time I see Biden getting greeted by the public, he's always getting booed.
Talking to UAW, obviously I'm concerned. I think that there should be a circumstance where the jobs that are being displaced, replaced with new jobs, they should go to the first choice should go to the UAW members who had the job, and the salary should be commensurate.
Have you seen Donald Trump's mugshot yet? Mr. President, are you worried at all about that?
I did see it on television.
What'd you think?
Handsome guy, wonderful guy.
Yeah, so this is as Biden's poll numbers are tanking into the dirt, and Trump's poll numbers are surging, okay, especially among the Republicans, okay? It is almost guaranteed that he's going to win the GOP primary, and it is really, really, really looking like he probably might win the general election as well, too, just based off how polls have shifted after his latest indictment and mugshot that has been seen around the world, that even outlets like CNN are still coping with the fact that the mugshot has completely backfired.
Tonight, former President Donald Trump is heading to Rapid City, South Dakota. This marks his first public rally since he was indicted in Fulton County, Georgia, on charges related to overturning the last election. Lest we forget, the last time Trump was in South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem offered him a very nice miniature replica of Mount Rushmore with Mr. Trump's face on it. This time, the governor may offer him a presidential endorsement. CNN's Kyung La is in Rapid City, South Dakota. Kyung, Governor Noem, very popular, but Trump arguably doesn't need her endorsement, right?
He doesn't necessarily. What this may be all about this evening, with CNN reporting that Governor Noem is expected to endorse him this evening here in Rapid City, South Dakota, a state that Republicans won by a very large margin, is more of a job interview. He hasn't picked a vice president yet, Jake, and that really is what we're expecting to see tonight, an undercurrent of a job application of sorts, Jake.
And Trump is known for spending his time at rallies sharing his various grievances. Are we expecting him to introduce any new policies this evening to help the American people?
In short, no. And there might be a reason why he doesn't feel he necessarily has to. We spent some time talking to people who are coming into this theater to ask them what they want to hear. What policies do you want? One woman did say she wants him to address inflation, but she doesn't expect any policy to come out of it this evening. What they want to hear from him is the fight. There are people who are wearing his mugshot from Fulton County. I want you to listen to what they told us.
This is a picture of Trump at his finest, being defiant against the establishment that is trying to take him down in a political season.
Depends whose law you're talking about. I mean, you've got the court system that is changing quite a bit because of what they state is, let's just say it's a fight between good and evil. And a lot of what's been happening is evil. He's bringing in the good.
I think he looks out for his people. I think he cares about us.
So what we will be listening for, Jake, is whether or not the former president addresses any recent news, especially today's news out of Fulton County. But as far as policy, not so much.
All right, Kyung La in Rapid City, South Dakota. Thanks so much.
Yeah, so the cope is real with the mainstream liberal media, and the cope is also real with the Biden-paid influencers who are desperately trying to get stupid young people to vote for Biden, despite the fact that everybody, based off the polls, knows that the man is way too old to be president. But again, that doesn't stop the paid Biden influencers from taking to TikTok in their Audis and giving a pitch for Joe Biden that shows that these people are completely out of touch with how the average everyday worker is doing in Biden's economy. But hey, Bidenomics though.
A lot of people are surprised to learn how productive the Joe Biden presidency has actually been. Like, unemployment is at a 54-year low. He's created 13 million jobs. Inflation has gone down for like the 14th month in a row. He's invested more money than anyone in infrastructure in the last like 3 decades. Did you even know that? He passed the first meaningful gun reform in decades. He's invested more money in climate change than any president ever. Like $500 billion. There's a lot of misinformation about that one. New leases for oil drilling projects have decreased 97% under Biden compared to Trump. Did you know that? The list goes on and on and on and on. He's been inclusive. He invests tons of money in mental health care. I mean, compare this to the other guy who's being indicted 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many times on RICO charges. He's been impeached twice. He's got a second defamation lawsuit. He sexually assaults women. I mean, what are we doing? He's trying to keep himself out of jail. And the only thing I can ever hear about Joe Biden is they're like, Chris, Joe Biden is old. Joe Biden is old. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't care.
Yeah, so it seems to be that the strategy from the Biden administration with their paid influencers is to get them high off that Hunter Biden and then explain to their audience, their not so educated audience, why inflation is so high, right? Why the cost of living is so high. Yeah, Biden spent $500 billion on climate change. Yeah, that's why things are so expensive, okay? Oh yeah, Biden stopped drilling, right? He stopped giving out new oil leases. Oh, well, that's why gas is so high, right? Thank you for explaining why the price of everything is going up with Bidenomics, right? Thank you for explaining that, okay? But hey, again, according to the polls and the mainstream liberal media narrative lately, these paid Biden influencers may be out of a job, okay? Because Biden is probably on the way out. That is my opinion. I think Biden's on the way out.
Biden's fellow Democrats admitting tonight there is a problem.
There's no doubt about it. The polls say what they say.
It's 14 months until an election, and there's a lot of work we have to do.
I think the people basically have spoken loud and clear. They're not happy with the 2 choices and only 2 choices.
And so there could be a third-party candidate.
I think that's up to the public to decide.
Is he a benefit for you being on the ticket this year?
I don't know, you know.
I think that every time Donald Trump opens his mouth, he draws that contrast pretty starkly. Voting for President Biden is going to be about preserving our democracy, and I think a lot of Americans are going to show up to do that.
And with that being said, let's check in on the person that a lot of people think is going to take Biden's place, which is Kamala, who was last seen this weekend pretending to be black at her 50th birthday party that happened to be a hip hop party.
And so let me just say welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first ever hip hop house party at the home of the Vice President of the United States.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so I apologize for subjecting you to that 10 to 15 seconds of torture there. But I gotta tell you guys, I think regardless of who the Democrat nominee is at this point, okay, whether it's Biden or Kamala, I think that Trump is going to stomp both of them, right? I mean, I am really feeling more optimistic lately than I have been before. I'm probably more optimistic today than I've been probably in a long time, okay, in regards to Trump's chances in 2024. And it's just clear to me that the momentum is going in a certain direction, right? I really do think something magical is happening in this country right now in regards to the support around Trump, despite the indictments. I actually think that the indictments are contributing, right? I think that they are a net positive for Trump at this point, and they certainly have not hurt him in the primary polls, and they don't really seem to be hurting him all that much in the general election polls versus Biden. Now, again, I think that they're going to replace Biden with Kamala. But honestly, Kamala is so corny and so unlikable, right? And so fake that honestly, I think either one of them are going to get destroyed, right? They're going to get absolutely destroyed by Trump. And I haven't felt this confident in a long time, right? The only thing that scares me, I think, is how Republicans deal with the issue of abortion, okay? Because we saw what happened during the midterms, in which you had a bunch of single liberal women, okay? They voted at a 60 to 70% clip for Democrats, according to exit polls, primarily because of the issue of abortion. Now, Republicans got to get that right, okay? They got to get it right in regards to the messaging, in regards to the whole idea of a federal ban thing, which, Nikki Haley, I think, probably put out the most politically safe answer / proposal when it comes to the whole federal ban thing, which is, hey, we don't have enough votes. Okay, we're not going to have enough votes realistically to do it, so we should just drop it, right? I mean, that's basically what she said, okay? And I don't know, man. I think that, I am very, as optimistic as I am, I just, after seeing what happened in 2022, it's clear to me that despite how bad of a shape the country's in, when it comes to some issues like that issue, it can literally ruin everything. And I would hate to see an issue like that ruin everything, especially considering how morally wrong it is, right? Regardless of my personal feelings when it comes to abortion, I do think that's the one thing that does scare me, okay, when we're talking about what could ruin this momentum that we're seeing, okay? Because we are seeing momentum being built for Trump. I think everywhere the man goes, he's being greeted with nothing but love and support, even when he goes into black communities, right? And allegedly, black people are supposed to hate Trump, but when he's in the black community or whatever, when he goes through it, he's getting praise and worship, okay? We're seeing all types of support for this man. And, I don't think that anything can stop him at this point. I really don't. Except that one issue that, again, is super unfortunate, that you have people in this country that will literally vote off that one issue vote the way they vote in regards to protecting their so-called right to, abort their babies. And there's always the issue of them basically trying to take Trump off the ballot, okay? But honestly, I'm not sure if that's going to actually be successful. But just assuming that they don't actually take Trump off the ballot, they don't try anything really crazy, which they probably will, but, just ignore the fact they might try to do that. And, assuming that the election actually is fair. Okay, a lot of assumptions here. Outside of that, man, I'm telling you guys, I really got a gut feeling that 2024 is going to be a crazy year. It's going to be probably the craziest year that we've seen since 2020. And I think that in some ways it's going to be magical, right? If Trump takes back the White House, the path there is going to feel like magic. I really do believe that, right? I do believe that this redemption campaign or / revenge campaign from Trump, I think is going to be something historic. And just seeing the momentum that he's building now, it's really hard to imagine how it can reverse itself. Right. And I think that's part of the reason why you have the mainstream liberal media freaking out so much over this, basically pressuring Democrats to find a replacement for Joe Biden, because I think they all see it. Right. I think everybody is kind of sensing that this man is unstoppable. Like, he's building support like crazy right now. And, Democrats and the liberal media, they're in panic mode because of it. Right. And that's why I'm feeling so optimistic about it. So, seeing videos of the reception that he got at the Iowa football game, I think kind of confirms some of my feelings that I've been having. I really do think that, Trump is going to have a good year next year, even despite the witch hunts from the left. I think that his ride back to the White House is going to be magical. At least I hope so. I hope so. Right? I hope so. That's why I hope. Okay. As of right now, that's what I think. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.